Okay. All right. If you are watching the playback of this live stream, um, I have no idea if anybody's going to join me at all. But if nothing else, I'll kind of share some thoughts before, the night before I go speak with the second cancer doctor for the first time. Big day tomorrow. Want to kind of unpack this a little bit with you, or I guess with myself. Um, Again, I have no idea if anybody's even going to see this, at least unless somebody goes back and watches old live streams. But want to share some thoughts, like what I'm thinking and feeling right now, going into this. It's going to be a big day. I will just say this: the first time getting the blood lab results back from the doctor, from the first doctor, and then going in person and talking everything over with him. Although it was great results, and it was kind of funny and frustrating at the same time to see the my primary care doctor, kind of rip them to shreds. That was kind of enjoyable, not gonna lie. I walked out of there, even though everything was as good as it could have been. But I walked out of there just mentally, emotionally drained, just exhausted, just dramatically, just the life sucked out of me. It felt like, going out of that office, even after good news, with the only doctor that, I got two people here. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I wasn't even expecting anybody to come over here, but yeah. And now they're both gone. Excellent. Yeah. One of them is your wife. Oh, there's my wife. There she is. Hi, honey. It was very dramatic of a energy suck. Even with the one doctor who's actually been supportive and helpful and encouraging, and even said he would do the same thing if it were him. And tomorrow, I guess, is going to be a little different. I'll be walking into, first of all, the guy who I haven't been able to get in to see for 3 months, which is a whole other discussion in itself, which is kind of mind-blowingly stupid. But yeah. To go through this all over again, it feels like with a brand new doctor who probably doesn't have a clue about fasting, doesn't have a clue about what the body can do on its own, who doesn't probably know, or probably, I wouldn't even doubt it if he even believes me what I tell him tomorrow. Probably thinks I'm delusional to some degree. I don't know, till he sees the actual tumor and other stuff that he'll have already relayed to him from my regular doctor. I feel like it's going to be just a emotional everything dump. Just everything. It's going to be very, and even best case scenario, he's on board, everything's all good, blah, blah, blah. it's just a big deal because it's a big deal. And sometimes um, it just is what it is. Sometimes most times things are not in our control, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Controlling a situation, like if there's other people, other moving parts, then you're not going to be able to control everything and make it go your way normally. And I'm fine with that. But it's just a big deal because it's a big deal. And even with the best news possible, I feel like it's still going to be just I've gone through so much. I've fought through so much. I've changed my thinking. I've I've changed every aspect of my life that relates to food, that relates to all this stuff. Or at least I'm on that direction. I'm on that path. And it's a lot of change in a short amount of time. And I know I've seen other people in health relationships or um, just in general make big, quick decisions and quote unquote change things. And maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't for them. For myself, I've seen too much. Quite literally, the change I've seen where I was at. I can't deny. I don't. It's ingrained in my memory of what I've gone through. How I've lived the majority of my life has produced basically death for my life. A whole lot faster than than it should have been, than it normally naturally would have been. And to go from that to seemingly, it feels like just eating pure life, just eating things that only help me, that only build me up, that only grow me. It's, I don't know, it's an emotional thing. It's also something that like I just can't forget the difference that all this has made. And so yeah, I I don't know. I'm not really nervous about like going back to how I used to eat or anything like that. Like that's not really a concern at this point. That's like the curtain's been pulled back. I've seen too much how good and amazing I feel. And like that's how good and amazing I feel while I'm still coming out of the ditch with how horrible I've run my body into the ground. And it only gets better from here. To continue building off of a foundation of health and real foods and having the right mindset, getting my emotions in check, my relationship with food, how I interact socially. I mean, all these different things that are just, like it or not, it's a part of the process. That's just that's how it is. Um, Seeing all that put together, And it's hard to imagine, and I'm happy about that, because then we'll just keep getting, shocked as we go up. But in my wellness, journey, but um, to see how good I feel, and how things are working now with a body that's just started to start rolling. Um, I'm excited about what that future holds. I'm excited about, can it get better? I think so. I would hope so. It's got to, right? That'd be crazy. That'd be wild, but I really do think that that's going to happen. And if we're still just getting off the ground right now, that's a special thing. And so, I don't know, with that in mind, and obviously tomorrow, big day, big stuff going on. Hoping to, of course, get, not hoping, I'm not leaving until I get the scan orders in my hand. Getting the scan orders, and then, as quickly as possible, just to, if at all possible, make it happen. And who knows, probably not get the results read back till the next day or something. I don't know. But, within the next 48 hours, it might be reasonable to, or maybe 72 hours, over the next 72 hours, it might be reasonable to find out, like find out all the way, being cancer free, confirmed. I already believe that, but confirmed for everybody else in the world who wants to know, whatever. That would be crazy. And maybe we can celebrate or do something, or, yeah, but it feels like this day was never going to come. And then we were just going to, the tumor was just going to fall off at some point. And then, it would just be over somehow. But actually getting the scan, and the doctor actually getting me in, and then get the scan after I see the doctor tomorrow. It's like, is this really happening? Is this actually going to just be over? Can this just be over now? Over as in confirming the results, but the tumor's still here, falling apart, literally shriveling up and all that. So, oh, what's going on, dude? I didn't know you could read, bro. Yo, Dino, what's up? It's Malfoy from TT. Let's go, bro. Yes, sir. Good to see you over here, man. Yeah, I wanted to. So I've only posted stuff on here from TikTok. Eventually, this is where I'm going to be posting longer videos and thoughtful points and stuff. And obviously, TikTok's not the best platform for really deep engagement, unless you're already in the algorithm for that for that content creator or whatever. But I'll probably be more on this eventually than TikTok, but I'll still be on TikTok. But yeah. Yeah. I also, with that, really cool you're here. TikTok are getting crazy. Yeah, man. Also, I don't know if I'm gonna even if I'm still gonna even be able to be on TikTok. Tomorrow I'll make some videos and I'll post them on TikTok about the visit before and after, and my thoughts before I walk in and afterwards, and what's going on with that, what the doctor says, and all the juicy details. I will definitely be sharing that. But I just I don't see TikTok being cool with me literally saying I healed my cancer naturally without any other garbage. So I don't know. I just also with this, if I'd love any feedback from you, Malfoy. Am I saying that right? Am I actually saying? I feel like I'm saying that right, but I'm second guessing myself. Um, Malfoy. That's how it reads to me. But yeah, I think going forward as I continue learning and growing in this stuff, being able to share. Yes, it's right. Okay, cool. Mike, bro, I've said your name about 1,000,000 times, and it would be a crime if I really had been saying it wrong the whole time, and you're just too nice to correct me or something. So okay, but yeah, man, like having a community over here, having I feel like more freer conversations to get into the nitty gritty stuff. I have one question. Yep. Oh my, bro, you're getting banned off of this app too. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm dying. Hey, did you say you were having a consultation with Chris? Did you already do that or no? Or were you getting a consultation with him or something like that? I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah, I oh yes, I'm going to currently out of town. Okay, gotcha. Good memory. Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but yeah, I just remember you in regards to the loose skin, you were going to talk to him, and I think that was in the same like TikTok live you said at one point. I was like, oh, okay, so he's gonna confirm it with Chris and make sure that I'm not BSing and he's not BSing and all that. But yeah, cool, man, very good. But and this is just being whoever watches this afterwards. Um, I am no Chris James, and I am no a healthy alternative. They have a empire of health and life and just grace beaming from every person there. I would love to support, to do anything I could to help Chris, to anything. I don't even know. I would love to. It's crazy to even say it out loud, but to be somebody like a Chris James helping people on this level, to have the knowledge, to have the, I mean, it comes from experience too, but to be more than just one-on-one, which I would be willing to do, I guess, as I continue learning and growing myself, but to help people in that way, to do challenges, to do all these things. And I feel, I mean, for the most part, like, I feel like an absolute, if I were to do any of that, like, bro, I would be still learning and doing my own stuff and growing and figuring stuff out on my own. But like, if I were to do that and I wasn't affiliated with a healthy alternative, I feel like I'd be stealing all the information from Chris. I'm like, bro, like, just go to the source, man. Like, he's been at this for like a decade. So I feel like, who am I to even like say or do freaking anything? Because the man with the plan has already got it cooking. And that's why I'm still breathing, kind of a thing. So I feel like it's a crazy freaking thing to say anything related to um, related to that. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I just, at the very least, this channel, um, the rest of my life in some way, shape, or form. I already have some t-shirts made that I made probably like a month ago. I don't think I actually shared this with anybody on TikTok. Um, maybe I did. I don't think so. I have t-shirts made that says I beat cancer and I reversed all my other diseases. And I have the shirt in two colors that I've already made, and I plan on wearing that all over the place. And I'm assuming that's going to piss off a lot of people. I'm assuming that's going to cause a lot of questions and weird looks and all sorts of stuff around town. But I fully plan on shouting it from the rooftop as much and as often as possible. So, dude, you give so much props to Chris. Very honest of you. Results will be here or on TikTok. It'll be on both, but it'll be like literally tomorrow before I walk in at 11:15. I will be making a video. It'll just be, hey guys, I'm about to go into the deal, and I'll probably mention a little bit of kind of what my thoughts and feelings are going into this. Earlier, when I think my wife was the one in here, only one viewer, which go figure, it's a brand new channel. I was just kind of mentioning how like that last time I went to my primary care doctor and I got to, we went over the results from the blood stuff and he said, everything's good. Keep doing what you're doing. Everything's phenomenal. And then he basically ripped the place that I'll be going to tomorrow into shreds over the phone and like was super upset at the lady on the phone, kind of a deal. When that all happened, afterwards there was like a huge emotional, physical, like just dumping of energy. It was a very good experience. It was high energy. It was high everything, but I just felt a huge emotional dump. Even going through a good visit with the doctor and him reaffirming what I've done and him, all this stuff. And all those things. So, anyways, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that. And I know even if the, best case scenario, first of all, I'm praying to God this guy even knows about fasting, which I'm sure he doesn't. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter a whole lot because I just need him to tell me, like, look at the results. First of all, just order me the scan. Like, I don't even need you to talk a whole bunch. I'm seeing the tumor shrink, and like with it, dude, I will say this, something I've not posted on. There's a part of the tumor that I think I have referenced just briefly in general. It was the size of a sweet pea. Like it round, but obviously like stuck to the rest of the tumor, kind of like a little bubble, like just bubble popped up. That size, that sweet pea size of the tumor, it was very, very sensitive. It now has zero feeling in it and it's about to rip off. However, within the last I've never seen this go this fast. Within the last 2 days, I saw, I have seen the tumor bubble, if you will, go from a pea size to what's a good, I don't know what to, I'll say a couple grains of rice, and I don't know if that even helps at all, but I'm telling you, less than half the size of a sweet pea. It has shrunk within the fastest I've ever seen any part of the tumor shrink. In the last 2 days, it has gone. I mean, it has just dropped. And I can show him the pictures on that. I've been documenting that as well. But Like I thought dude, now the crazy thing is now, like I thought this tumor or that piece was going to rip off and I was just going to like, oh, am I going to be able to like catch it? Or is this going to fall off of me? I just don't know where it went. But now I think like, dude, it's just going to shrink all the way down to nothing before I can even like let it fall off and be able to show you guys. So I'm like, come on, bro, like just let it fall off so I can show everybody. That would be more enjoyable for me. Take a bunch of pictures and video and all that. Here is the, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that. This is what is left over from that one piece that, I don't know if this is skin or blood or I don't know what it is, but this is what was left over. It's literally, it looks like a, you know, like a little booger almost skin. I don't know. But this is what was left over from that one piece that I had on my thumb. I'm saving this for whatever it's worth. That I had on my thumb, that the dehydration of it it shriveled up to nothing. And the water, I guess, inside of it, or fluid of sorts, I don't know, just gone. Oh, we got 3 people here. Whoa, what's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing, folks? Let me know who you are. First time going live on this channel, and I've only uploaded stuff from TikTok on this channel, so that will be changing here pretty soon. I'll be putting original content on this channel, but yeah, we're talking about going to the doctor tomorrow for the big appointment with the second cancer doctor. I'm not really nervous about it. I just know I'm going to have a huge energy dump afterwards, whether it's good or bad, probably worse if it's bad, or if I have to argue with the guy or try to explain it, or like he doesn't believe me, or I don't know what is going to happen. I'm hoping for the best, expecting the worst. I mean, that's kind of how I normally operate. But with the idea that tomorrow is going to be a big day, and I'm hoping that it doesn't just suck the life. I don't know how else to say it. You suck the life out of me. That last time, even with the doctor who was on my side, the primary care doctor, that was an emotional, physical draining of energy. And I was fasting at that time. Tomorrow I won't be fasting. So that'll be maybe a little less of a drain, but yeah, it's just like, wow, here we go again. But this seems like a much bigger deal than just the last time. So, yeah, guys, if the 3 people in here, I don't know who you are, besides Malfoy here from TikTok. If you have more questions that are more dramatic or whatever, I would love to answer more things on this platform that are less censored, seemingly, than over on TikTok. So I will fire away if at all that I can, you know. So oh, Creative Heart, what's going on? How long will it take to find out results? So tomorrow is the appointment with the doctor. The doctor has to give me the slip, or the, not reservation, the referral. Yeah, referral. So that obviously, so insurance can pay for it and all that stuff. But to get the referral, so I'm hoping I'll be going to the place where my wife works at. She works at a medical imaging facility. That's how we have our insurance, is through her work. So I'm hoping that after tomorrow at 11:15 Eastern time zone, if you care, that's when I go, and I have my appointment. I'm an hour away from home, so it'll be, I'm assuming, every bit of an hour. of an appointment, or at least 30 minutes. I don't know if this guy just wants to bing, bing, boom, push me out the door, shove me out the door. I don't really care. As long as you give me a referral, I don't really give a flip. But at the earliest, I would assume I would be back close to 1 p.m., somewhere in there, 12:31. And if it was possible, my wife can kind of get me on the list, scoot me up or fit me in anywhere. I'll show up anytime, to get the scan done. And it also depends on, my wife said that depending on the type of scan. So if they want to do a full body PET scan, that'll take longer, I guess. So she said there's two different types of PET scans. One scan that does your head to your upper thigh or something, or your in between your knee and your hip, I guess. So that PET scan, and then there's a full, literally head to toe scan. So for me to get the full scan, I guess that'll take longer, and that might not be able to work with the timing of doing the scan tomorrow if they're not already jam packed. So depending on what they have available and what type of scan that they do, to see if it's spread anywhere else, just so we can fully say and wrap it up, cancer-free, mother truckers, that type of a thing. That is kind of up in the air, so that should be pretty interesting. Jesse J, what's going on? Followed recently on TikTok, blown away from what you have accomplished. I'm a truck driver, have been for 10 years now, and I can feel my health declining over the past year or so. Jesse, then boom, your channel popped up and I'm inspired and I have hope now, and I'm going to start fasting water and dry and try to fix my health as well. Jesse, let's freaking go, dude. That's so cool. That is so cool to hear, man. That's an honor. Seriously, it's an honor for me to hear that. I was in RV transport, the kiddie version of transport. Okay, wasn't a real trucker, or whatever you want to say, but I did that for 7 years, and from the very beginning, I only gained weight. And some dangerous times out on the road with my health, to be honest. Sometimes I had to pull over and I couldn't function. A number of times, actually. And I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help myself. And anyways, being in the truck all day, I feel that. I feel you on the intensity of what that does to the body. At the very least, I understand that from being over the road, and the garbage food that's at the truck stops. And they'll have apples and orange, or apples, clementines, and bananas. That's the only healthy thing they got at the gas station, maybe, or the truck stop, maybe. And everything else is fast food and poison, seemingly. And so, dude, I'm so happy to hear that. If you still have a pulse and you're here, there's hope. There is. Whether you see it or you feel it or you believe it or not, there is. And that does not mean it's easy. That does not mean it's, you already know what's going on. It sounds like you're pretty locked in at this point, but if there's anything I can do to help, man, please let me know. That is not an easy, forgive me, road to travel. Being out and about and not being home and having more tools at your disposal and eating healthier and those things. I'm not saying it's impossible, but from experience, it is tougher. So, Creative Heart, did you have any difference with your nervous system in terms of anxiety and depression, such as like when you started fasting and diet changes? Only plants and fruits, and I feel big difference. Difference in my nervous system in terms of anxiety and depression. Creative, if you can kind of follow up that question, differences from before fasting to during fasting, or in general this period of time that we're in, as my body has detoxed and stuff. I know that every winter, the seasonal depression or whatever you want to say, that's definitely a thing for me. Let me keep going to your other comments. On TikTok as well. That platform sucks now. They are suppressing content so much. You are doing amazing. I'm so happy for it. Ray, appreciate that. Thank you. It's been a wild ride. And I'm at this point, I'm so grateful. I actually, I didn't start recording until day 23 of my first fast. I didn't document anything besides on paper, and reporting back to Chris James about what's going on. I didn't document anything. And so I'm so grateful I finally did. And I had enough energy to do it, to sit down and blab to a phone for 5-10 minutes. Each night was, some of those nights were all that I could do to function. Even though I couldn't really sleep well, I couldn't do a whole lot other else, anyways, trying to just lay in bed. So there's some of those nights I recorded earlier on where I was just like, I'm just going to say what happened today, and then I hope I fall asleep. So yeah, man. If you're C-free, are you going to continue fasting and dry fasting and diet changes, or will you be done? Creative Heart, I'm not going back. I'm not going back to the poison. I might find some alternatives that are healthier, less horrific things for me. But fruits and vegetables, I've fallen in love. I mean, I've fallen in love. I don't know what else to say on that. You can do, I don't know. It maybe because of the state that I'm in, of where I was and where I'm at now. I cannot deny how those fruits, the foods, make me feel and give me real energy. It's not fake stuff. It's not like it just feels like pure raw, like pure raw honey or something. It's like straight from the freaking source quality. And I can't deny what I have experienced and I'm seeing, and just everything across the board is better. And now that as I'm continued to learn and grow and do some research, as I'm trying to find more and more things to look into, seeing what it can do for my body. Knowing those things, and ultimately going from basically death to surviving and living, is kind of where it feels like right now. I feel like I'm to the halfway point, almost in the trash, to today back on track, whatever that means. But there's the other half of it, 50%, will be for the rest of my life of pursuing or leveling up my health in general across the board in everything. And that doesn't seem daunting. That doesn't seem like boring. I don't want to just go back to same old and just go back to poisoning myself. And then I have to wait until it gets so bad again that I have to bail myself out again. Can we just thrive? Can we just live and just breathe and just not be putting myself in the worst possible position? That's kind of where I'm at. That's what I want to do. And I want to take everybody who will come with me, alongside me, and grow together, take our health back, live a productive, fruitful life, and just thrive, man. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to be eating meat, at some point, more than I've had a steak I've had prime rib, and I've had a regular like sirloin steak. I think twice now, and maybe some ground beef from the cow that we have local to us that we have in our freezer. I've had some of that stuff. But like dairy and stuff, I'm not going back to crazy dairy like I used to. That was a ton of my diet. But anyways, yeah, it is not going to be the same. It's a full lifestyle change, and I'm happy about it. And I want to keep moving that needle further. So I think I skipped. Yay, more people. Make sure I don't skip anything else. Okay, saw that. Jesse, I appreciate it so much, man. It's all new to me. I've been doing research best I can. Yeah, bro. And it does make it very hard. There's just no time for myself, no proper rest. Resting well, so hard. But I decided, man, I got to put me first. I got to make a change. I'm still young and I want to be around a while yet. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, dude. Health is wealth, right? And you don't realize the gravity of that situation until you don't have your health, until your health is about to be gone. You're about to be broke as a joke. Your life is a joke at that point. And to be honest, just looking back now, like the last couple of years, I wasn't living. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't anything, dude. I was on most days, I was just barely surviving, just going through the motions, zombified, just addicted, a drone. And that's kind of the, I don't want to get too into it right now because I'm going to get angry, but like, that's what they want us to be. They want us to be drones. They want us to be sucked in, hooked up, and just mindless. Can't think for yourself, can't operate on your own, addicted to everything that they're selling, and just suck you for all the life you have, drain you of it, and then when they're done, next. So dude, you're on target. In this, I will just say this, another aspect of this, don't feel like you have to figure everything out all in one day. Because guess what, dude? I know enough now to know I don't know freaking anything. Like, it's like getting to the point, like when I started my business, there was eventually a point where I was like, okay, so I know how this type of business works. I don't know how to make everything work the right way. I don't know how to make everything flawless, but I do know that there's a lot more to know. And that's the point where like, okay, I'm on the right track. I found the right, deal. So give yourself grace in your pursuit of learning these things and maybe cutting off the garbage that you thought was okay, or maybe even, less bad or whatever. Give yourself grace because it's a whole new world and you have the rest of your life, which will be longer because you're doing this. You're going to be better off for it. Give yourself that grace. Don't beat yourself up over these things. Trying to make everything. If I don't make it all work just right now, that's it. It's over. I guess I can't do it. I guess it's just too difficult. No, bro, that's a lie from the pit of hell, dude. Like, there's no way. It's a process, and I feel like at the very freaking beginning. And maybe to other people, maybe that seems like, oh, a lot, or, something else like that. But I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just barely even scratching the surface of like how this is all connected and works. And it's exciting, but it's also a little daunting. So like, it's kind of like what those moments are like, just calibrate. We got 6 people here, bro. What is going on, dude? First time going live over here. This is cool. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for joining, guys. Let me catch up here. Creative, just from before detox to now. Sorry, I didn't make it clear. Okay, yeah. Like, do you feel better emotionally that when you were eating crap food? Creative, yeah. So my decision making. my emotions are less sporadic. The fight or flight, the getting my next like fix or whatever, like as I've detoxed, I'm more and more stable. I'm more and more stable in this area than I mean, at a rave party, just going crazy up and down, it's one of those things where like things are coming into like alignment. Things are like steady, steady as she goes, type of deal. So, with emotions, with my thoughts, with my relationship to food, and like my thinking of like what's productive, what's not. Um, that has absolutely changed. And I hope it continues to change. Wherever I'm at right now, keep on freaking moving the needle type of a thing. So, getting to the point where I'm able to be laser in focused throughout the whole day. Nothing shakes me up. Nothing causes me to just spin out, what do they say? Crash out, these days, whatever. I did mention, just a little bit ago, I'll kind of summarize it, but that that last blood results that I went through with the primary care doctor. After that, even though it was great results talking with him, and then he basically ripped the other cancer doctor to shreds over the phone. In the middle of our appointment, he called the other doctor and was just in the room with me and was just like giving him everything. Leaving that, even though it was a good thing and kind of frustrating with that side of it, but even though it was a good, productive situation with him and I, it still drained me emotionally. So I would like to think that maybe, even though this is going to be directly with somebody who may be in opposition of what I'm doing and may disagree or who knows what, regardless of what they say, I'm hoping for less of a emotional triggering response of just being drained and just, I felt like the life got, sucked out of me after that. Even though it was a good thing, I still got an energy suck out of it. So I'm hoping for a better response this time, but to be honest, because it is bigger everything kind of a thing, it appears to me at this point, I'm just kind of bracing for impact of just walking out of there and going and just good or bad, no matter what the results, just going, oh my word. So I'm not trying to, I don't want that to happen, but I'm expecting it to happen. So I'm kind of preparing so it's not a shock to me. If that helps explain anything. So man, I gotta put me first. I gotta make change. Oh yeah. Sorry. If you could pick only one big benefit besides the C that you got from fasting, what would it be? That's a interesting one big benefit besides the C from fasting. Well, if I say lose weight, then that basically is the cheat code for all of these other things that are directly related to the weight. Besides just toxicity, stuff. But one thing besides the C that's not the cheating name of, just losing weight. To be honest, the arthritis in my hands and my fingers wasn't horrible, but it wasn't nothing either. But that was survivable. It was just like, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of a little bit more difficult to grab onto tools and to use them, but I can always find a way to work around that stuff. So I wouldn't say that. The eyesight, I think my eyesight has gotten better. I can't prove that right now. I do know that the little squigglies that you see, and you look and then they move, and then you look and then they move. I believe that's actually collagen that's floating around in your eyeball. I listened to a podcast or a video or a documentary or something on that. I think that's what that is. Those have all disappeared from my eyesight. So I'm assuming other things have gotten better with my eyes. I don't know. Um, I guess sleep apnea in general. I will say this as I've refed more and fasted less, of course, compared to my 46 days, a little inflammation has come back to my throat. And I do think I am snoring a little bit. But that's literally the process of going from where I was to the first fast, and then it's the stair stepping, up and down, but the trend is going down. So I do truly believe permanently when I get to an optimal weight and I've detoxed and inflammation stays down, I won't have anything at all of that. But I do think a little of that sleep apnea has snuck back in a little bit. But it's just a matter of time, kicking that to the curb as well. So, I guess in general, the sleep apnea, I would just say that, getting good rest. I've never had good rest, in my adult life, as far back as I can really think of. What I have experienced most of my life as an adult is what I've experienced most of my life as a teenager and younger. Poor sleep, waking up groggy, really not doing well. So I would say that, if you wake up and you feel like you just went to bed, it's like, how are you functioning, bro? I've been plant-based for a decade. Wow, creative heart. Fruits and veggies are incredible. Booyah, 100%. The minerals and vitamins make such a difference. Creative heart. I'm telling you, I feel like I just cracked the code to the safe. It's like I haven't even yet begun to fight, or whatever that phrase is. It's like I've always enjoyed fruits and vegetables. I've just enjoyed the garbage much more. So the fruit and veggies were always a dessert, kind of an afterthought to the garbage. So now that this is like my primary focus, and I already loved all of it. And frankly, I haven't had everything. So I'm trying new fruits and veggies more recently and going, wow, this is pretty cool. This is good stuff. It's like, man, I have the rest of my life to just build on this foundation that I've started now. And like, I'm kind of giddy a little bit, but also like, just take your time, bro. Like, it's okay. I'm excited about like the potential for what things will look like down the road. How much better I'll feel and I'll see and I'll think and just everything. So pretty awesome. Spaceman, what's going on? What are you eating nowadays? Still just veggies? Curious if your opinion on a carnivore-based diet, since red meat is supposed to be the least inflammatory food. Yeah, so I'm still just eating primarily fruits and vegetables, some nuts, some seeds, and other stuff. Excuse me. I have had prime rib once and a sirloin steak once, and then I think some ground beef straight from our cow that's in our basement, the freezer. To be honest, those did not taste like anything special. I'm just sharing that for whatever it's worth. It was not like watermelon. When I tasted watermelon for that first time after the first fast, I felt like, have you seen that movie like Limitless, where the guy takes that pill and then he unlocks the ability to use his entire brain? That's how that felt, bro. I felt like my whole brain just like got turned on for the first time. And I was like, yeah, let's go, so for whatever that's worth. But having the prime rib, good texture, tasted like it did before. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It was, I guess, it's just an interesting point for me because, like, that's what I would primarily want. That was my go-to. That was my getting the steak, getting ground beef, all those things. Like, I was in love with it. And like any chance I could, like, I know what I want. And the taste would be amazing. It would be great. It'd be good depending on the quality of meat. It'd be good to great. And to have that again since all of this a couple times and go, okay, well, I mean, that's good. But I got fruits and vegetables that are like so much freaking better. So to answer your question, carnivore-based diet since supposed to be least inflammatory. So I'm definitely not going carnivore. I've thought about it before, but honestly, like, I do agree with the least inflammatory. I believe depending on what's in the meats and what they've done to it and all that stuff, that's a whole other thing that I don't even know. The meat that we have at our house, I know the farm. I literally know the guy, who we got it from, where he lives. So it's legit. It's legit meat there, but I will be eating meat on a very small scale, probably primarily just from being at home. I'm going to lean back a little bit, guys. I'm going to scoot over here. There we go. Can you hear me? All right. Seems like I'm really far away still. Oh well. I'll be eating fruits and veggies, the primary source of my food, and then I'll be eating meat in small quantities, compared to how much I used to eat, of a tenth of the amount of meat I used to eat. But I will be eating it, but the nutrients and the vitamins and everything getting from these fruits and veggies. Although I do, with the meats and stuff, like it's certainly less bad. But I don't think there's as much benefit in eating just meat than there is just eating plant, fruits and veggies. And so I'll just say this proportionally. I think there's a lot more to gain from eating just fruits and vegetables. And I think proportionally, just eating meat, it's not horrible, but it's only just a little bit good in comparison to the fruits and veggies. So I'm going my periodic, not periodic table, my food pyramid or whatever is primarily the base of it is going to be, the majority of it's going to be fruits and veggies, and then meat just a little bit on the top. That's kind of where I'm at on that. So, no hate or shame or anything to anybody else doing anything else. That's just where I see it. I'm willing to change that line of thinking if I'm proved wrong or something's better or something. I don't know. But I just, from looking at the information and now what I've experienced, I would be shocked if I did change my opinion on that. So I'm just being full disclaimer here. That's where I'm at. Where am I at here? Okay. Jesse, do you think all fruits and veggies are fair game? Is there any to avoid for any reasons? Jesse, I'm just some fool, so I don't know. But I would say everything's fair game for me. Well, I'll at least say this. If you happen to get cancer, I have not stopped myself from touching any fruit or vegetable, regardless of how much sugar or anything was in it. Nothing was going to stop me from smashing those fruits and veggies because I believed and I now know, and my tumor never grew. Once it stopped growing, it never started back up again. It's shifted around as one part would shrink, another part would maybe, another cluster might grow a little bit here, but then that would shrink down, and then something else would pop up even smaller, and then that would shrink down. It's like the whole city is crumbling, down or type of a thing. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But that's been my experience. So no, there's no fruits and veggies off limits for me as far as I know, unless it's poisonous somehow. I don't think that's even the case. So I think we're good. That's my opinion. Gotcha. I'm sure your wife would agree with the sleep apnea because of your story. Yeah. And that's something that's come up. So she's been able. I have woken her up, a couple times, because of snoring, more recently, because inflammation has come back and it's not fully rebounding all the way by any means. But she's like, yeah, it's enough to wake me up and be annoying. It's not anywhere close to where you used to be, but it's back a little bit. I'm like, well, I can feel the inflammation come back in my body, in my neck a little bit, my mouth. And it's interesting that I can detect the sensitivity now, when I used to. I mean, that's just how it was every day of my life. But now I actually have real sensitivity to it. So that's been interesting. But eventually that'll go away completely, permanently, I believe, as I fully heal my body, and we just keep pumping in the good stuff and getting the bad stuff out. But it's a process, and I'm okay with it. Kara kind of looked at me. She's like, I think you're snoring a little again because you woke me up last night. Or, I'm like, oh wow, really? That's disheartening. How did it come back? Well, in between not eating anything for 46 days, not doing that, the body isn't perfectly healed, even though I've gotten rid of the vast majority of everything. There's still some bad stuff, and the body still is responding, and protecting me. So it's allowing inflammation to be all over my body to a smaller degree now. And so it's just a matter of time. That's where I'm at. But I'm excited to be back where, permanently, without having to fast, to have that inflammation just cooked out of there. So have you inspired your wife to change her diet if that's not too personal? Creative. So she's lost 25 pounds since doing this. She has changed. She was already eating way, way healthier than me. And frankly, I don't think she needs to lose a whole lot of weight more, but, she's my wife. I want every inch of her, but, yeah. She's lost some weight. She's happy about it. She wants to lose some more. She's already doing like CrossFit and stuff. But yeah, she's on fruits and veggies, minimal meats, kind of stuff like that. No dairy, kind of going on at all. So, without us like saying, hey, let's do this together, we both kind of came to the same conclusion, like minimal meats, lots of fruits and veggies, no processed. And that's just where we're content, that we're happy right now with that. Yeah. How was your Miami fruit experience? I had a box a few years ago. It was really fun. Okay, creative. Man, oh man, we really needed to do more research on that before getting that box and opening it up. I feel like most of those fruits on that video that I did, or that live stream that I did, we would have had a much better experience if I had known, like, okay, this is the fruits I'm getting. These are not ripe yet for the next like 4 days, or, I need to wait till the optimal time. I don't have a freaking clue about all this stuff. I don't even know how to say some of those freaking fruit names. So, yeah, it was a great time though. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed the new experience. The trying a new experience out is not something I would have normally ever done, to be honest. That's not something that I would be like, hey, let's order something we've never done before and see if it works out or not. Like, my old mentality would have been like, you're an idiot. Stop wasting your money. That's stupid. Who cares if it even tastes good? Maybe one of those things. That's a dumb idea. But it was kind of like a celebration, excitement. Another little milestone in my health journey. It was exciting to get those fruits and to try new stuff I've never tasted before. It was like, wow. So kind of expanding my mind, expanding my emotions with that. And it was good, but definitely next time, which there's going to be a next time, and we'll probably do it live again or something. Um, we do want to do better and make sure that it's actually like ripe and not way too early. So we'll see, but yeah, it was a really good time. Fruits and veggies are where it's at. It's electrical. I'm telling you, man, it's like an injection straight to the everything. It's awesome. Go with how your body feels. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm happy with it. I'm happy. Spaceman, thanks for the response, man. I hope great news for you tomorrow. We'll look out for an update on your TikTok page. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'll be putting out a before I go into the doctor's video, and basically what I'm talking about tonight. Hey guys, about to go in. Last time I went to a big doctor's appointment thing, it was very emotional and triggering to like my energy levels that just dumped. And so I'm hoping for the best out of this. We'll see what happens. And then I'll do a video when I get out of there and say, here's the freaking order, bro. I've been waiting 3 months for this. Let's go. And if I can, I'll, get the scan tomorrow, right out of there, but we'll see. Ayani, what's going on? Are you going to take the scan tomorrow? So I hope to, after I leave the doctor's appointment, I'll be going to where my wife works, and hopefully I'll be getting a scan there if they have time on their schedule to fit me in their scanning schedules, I guess. If at all possible, I'm going to, but if not, then it'll probably be the next day. It'll probably be the next day. So, yeah. Some people have issues with nightshades. It's the only thing I've ever heard of the fruits and veggies. Nightshades. Let me look that up. I've never heard of a nightshade. Nightshade food list. There's a list of certain types of nightshade fruits. What? Bro, I am so ignorant. It's not even funny. Eggplant, tomatillos, ashwagandha, paprika. Oh, paprika, potato, bell pepper, tomato, goji, tobacco plants. What? There's 13 more. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna. Oh, I like okra, chili pepper, jalapeno. Dude, I have no idea. Interesting. Having trouble. When you say trouble, having trouble with nightshades, what do you mean, Creative Heart? As far as like eating too much of them, causing problems or something like that. Jesse, that's how I feel. I see like fruit demonized almost because of the sugar, but it's not like the same sugar is processed. I think it's all propaganda to keep us from the healthy stuff. Dude, literally, Jesse, I don't know if you were in the live stream. This was several live streams ago. Couple like a week or two ago. I don't know. But there was a lady who said that she has cancer, and at the cancer center where she was going to get her chemo or her whatever she was doing, they were going around with big baskets, like big basket carts, and they were passing out Oreos, pop, chips, cookies, snacks, all processed, all sugar, all crazy preservatives, all of those things. And she said that on the live, and I'm just like, there's just no way, dude. Like, you are killing people. you are feeding, or at least I'll just say this. As I've as I've learned from Chris and in general, it just makes sense. And I don't know if YouTube is cool with this or not or whatever, but it's got to be better than TikTok, so we'll shoot for it. But the cancer feeds off the processed sugars, not real fruits, not real sugars from Whole Foods and stuff. You're at least adding to the weight that the cancer has to eat. Long story short, I now don't believe, because of what Chris has shared with me, and it just, again, it makes sense when you talk it all the way through. The body creates cancer to defend the body, because the body can't absorb and can't deal with and can't break down these preservatives and heavy metals and toxins and all these crazy things that are in our food now. As a defense mechanism, the body creates the cancer cells so that it can do the work to attack and to eat the processed sugars and the toxins all over our body. And so it spreads all over to our body so that it can take and eat away all these things that are not supposed to be there. And maybe not. Good cells get in the line of fire and they get hurt in the process. But these cancer cells are literally the body created them on purpose. It wasn't a malfunction, on purpose, to do what it couldn't normally do under normal circumstances, because we've been pounding it with garbage this entire time. And so it's stopping, putting the garbage in and put the good stuff in. And in combination with that, detoxing, lower the levels of things that the cancer cells would normally be eating on, going after, lower the bad stuff, increase the good stuff. In the meantime, the stuff that the body created now doesn't need to be there. So cancer in itself is a good thing, which is completely opposite of what everybody says. But the body created it to defend itself, to repair itself, to get to get rid of the bad stuff that's even worse that the body can't naturally deal with. But once that goes away, when the body no longer needs the cancer cells to literally do its dirty work, because I've already detoxed and I've already repaired all my other systems, my organs, and things are firing and working how they're supposed to. It's in a rhythm. The body says, we don't need the cancer cells anymore. Shoo, 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 shoo. We're done with you. We've gotten rid of these toxins. We don't have to have you now. He's healing. He's cleaned up. He's in the process of continuing. Like, we've changed the environment. And that's what I've been trying to talk about more and more. That's how it makes sense to me in my mind. I've changed my environment from a nuclear waste site to a garden with fruits and vegetables. Which one can you survive longer on without a mask, without a oxygen tank? Like, I've changed the environment. I no longer need the stuff that's just as devastating as the toxins. And that was the cancer the body created and now doesn't need. And I believe the cancer's gone. So the cancer, in my opinion, is not the enemy. It's a tool the body uses to get rid of the baddest of the bad that it can't normally handle and deal with, as like a last resort. That's what my interpretation of what Chris has said. It's how I frame it in my mind. Maybe I'm still wrong on some of these particulars, but that's how I digest it, and it makes sense to me. I'm still willing to listen to anything and chew on that. But that's kind of what I believe at this point. So, and seemingly, if that's the case, then if it's not in my blood, evidence of anything of that in my blood from like 3 or 4 weeks ago or whatever that was now, I think the scan is just going to be a black screen. There's not going to be any cancer lighting up on that screen. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be ghost town, mother truckers, gone. So that's just a little bit of something. Creative, are you exercising or just sticking to fasting and good diet for now? Creative, I'm going to be just fasting and good diet for several months. At some point, like more than just walking, yeah, I'll probably end up within this next 12 months or this calendar year, I guess. I'm sure I will start to exercise, but the majority of it is my main focus is just what's going in and making sure things are coming out. So that's kind of the deal. Nightshade, some people have inflammatory responses to them, but I think it's pretty rare. Interesting. Creative, I don't want to disagree with you. I'm just curious. Is that like well documented that like it's not just indirectly, but it is directly related to just those foods? Like if they just ate those foods alone, inflammation goes up, and it's not like a combination thing or like a difference, some other thing it's being blamed for it. At this point, I wouldn't doubt it that some fruits and veggies are being blamed for who knows what. So I'm just curious if you know any more details on that. I want to look that up now and see what in the world. Bro, it's really hard for me to believe that would really be a thing, but maybe that's just, there's a wide variety of fruits and veggies, so maybe that's just how it is. If that's how it is, I'll shut up. But it's kind of wild to me to hear that. Jesse, I would love to say that's hard to believe, but it's definitely not. I really struggle to feel like anyone wants to actually help, not just put band-aids over things. Yeah, Jesse. Dude. I don't know if anybody's watching me from the medical field. I think there's like one pharmaceutical guy who comes in to my live streams occasionally and messages and says stuff. And it's cordial. We disagree for the most part. And he thinks like I'm basically almost dead, which is kind of funny, but really concerned for you, man. You really need to get that scan. You really need to go to the doctor, and there's other things they could do for you. And, I know you're programmed to say those things, so I'm not going to hold it against you, but like, bro, come on. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, I just, and I've shared that, honestly, I'll say this, I might make this a whole video. I don't know, at some point. My wife, as I've said, I'm going hopefully tomorrow to get the scan done after the appointment at my wife's work. My wife works at a medical imaging facility, which does all the different types of images: PET, CAT, MRI. I don't freaking know everything else. I don't know. A bunch of different things. She doesn't do the actual medical stuff. She does the paperwork side, talking with other doctors' offices and going through all those things. She does a lot of administration stuff. But just lost my train of thought. I've told her, I just remembered it. My wife cares about people. My wife loves people. She wants to serve people. Most of the people she sees, her patients that she sees, and she helps and talks with and all this stuff, they're elderly. They've gone through a whole bunch of crazy stuff. They're on a bunch of drugs. They can barely walk. They can barely do different things. All this stuff. It's not just only older people, but she sees them a lot. I hear more stories about them when she comes home and tells me things. And so she deeply cares. She is one of the people in the medical industry that is doing the absolute best to make it the easiest, telling the truth to the patient. Even though she's not, again, directly in the medical side of everything. Okay. But I've had to tell her, because of decisions being made for for her job, the business she works at, and everything, I've had to tell her, like, understand, decisions being made. Are they a charity? Do people donate to them? Because if the answer is no, they are a business. They are not patients. I know you view them and you see them, and you have the heart to serve them as a patient, to love them and to just give everything you got, whatever that looks like, on a day-to-day basis with imaging at a medical facility. But the truth is, they are customers. They are not patients. They are paying customers. And what does a business want the most from a customer? I'm a business owner. I've got the answer. I want repeat, maybe not subscription based exactly with my business kind of a thing. I want repeat customers that build my business. One-off customers that come in or that I drop off a dumpster one time and I never hear from them again. Those customers don't build my business. Those customers don't put more money in my pocket and allow us to be living in this house. The type of customer that I want is repeat customers. So because you work at a business, not a nonprofit, because you have customers, not patients, your employer wants repeat customers. And that goes for every single medical place that's not a non-for-profit, and probably somehow, some way, still nonprofits. However they do their voodoo and tax write-offs, and I don't even know all that jazz. They want repeat customers. They want you to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back until there's nothing of you left. Piece by piece, take you apart. And that's exactly what I felt like was going to happen. And I could just see it in the guy's eye, that my original cancer doctor. Yeah, we're just going to take this part. We'll have to take more than the actual tumor just to be safe. Can it come back? Can it be worse? Can it pop up in another area? What's connected to that area? The lymphatic system? What's this? What's that? Yeah, we don't have any idea. We just need to take this. No, because I know you'll be back. And I know you're going to want to take more of me. And I know that's going to eventually just kill me. And I'm not your guy. I'm not your repeat customer. Ain't going to happen, bud. I just fired you. And so when I first told my wife all that, she was not thrilled, because that's not her heart at all. She's completely the other side of the spectrum. But I was like it or not, I'm telling you, the decisions they make there at any other medical doctor, sending orders over to you guys, doing this, doing that. It is a business. They do not want to be run out of business. They are in the business of staying in business because they want the money. And there's big, big money on purpose. So you are in the machine itself. We've had this conversation, this dialogue, I don't know, a dozen times over the last 3 years as things have progressively gotten tougher for her to work there and see the things that she's seeing. Um, so anyways, for whatever that's worth, yeah, it's a business. And I can tell you, I don't want my business to shrivel up and die. I want it to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. And physically, I have been dying for quite some time. Eventually, I will, permanently here on Earth. But ultimately, I have a reverse switch that I've been able to flip, and we've been cooking for some time. But yeah. About to get worked up over here, bro. The body creates tumors and whatnot to protect you. Yeah, exactly. Isolating. It's like isolating the impact of where things are at. The lymphatic system, where specifically with my stuff, isolating the problem in one area to attack the even worse things that you wouldn't normally be able to deal with. Exactly. It'd be better than everything be everywhere and just chaos throughout your whole body, and you just die within who knows how long. So it's a blessing. It's a mercy of God in your body that literally it does that and isolates it and slows the process, so it can actually eat up that stuff and get stuff cleared out. That's what I believe. Can you still feel the enlarged lymphatic area, or is that completely gone? So creative. So the tumor I still have is above the skin. So the tumor is above the skin, and I can feel my lymph nodes in that area. Those are still, one of them is partially enlarged, and seemingly it's going up and down. It's maybe not pumping like a fuel pump or something, but by any means that fast. But it is definitely going the right direction. The tumor, I don't know if you were here earlier when I said this. There's a part of the tumor above the skin. I can see it. That it was the size of a sweet pea. It has basically gotten so weak that it could basically be ripped off or like twisted off, like not to be gross or whatever, but it's like the size of like a nipple. You could probably just twist it right off, like I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to give you imagery to show that, but like that's the size of that piece. That one of the original pieces that exploded on the tumor when it originally exploded all together. So this is like an offshoot above the normal like tumor base of how it is, and it's like a little. It was like a circle, or a cylinder. Sorry, not a cylinder, but that's what it was. That piece has now shrunk to less than half of what that pea size was, and at this point, I don't know if it's going to rip off first and literally fall off what's left of it, or if it's going to in the last like literally 2 days, it has shrunk so quickly. I literally don't know if it's going to fall off or shrink to where it's just gone completely, just like a few other parts of the tumor have already done that. That's how quickly it's now imploding or whatever. So kind of crazy to visibly see, but that is actively actively happening. Say it louder for the people in the back, man. If you're paying and they are not charity, it's a business. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. It's and when my wife heard that, when I said that, she was kind of like offended by it. And I was like, let's take a TV time out, okay? I'm not personally attacking you. You're my wife who's just trying to help people and love people and provide and help pay the bills. Okay. Like this is not against you. I'm telling you, this is the structure that you are a part of. This is how you are getting paid. And this is how they are wanting to do it. So, I'm not hating you, the player. I'm hating the game because this is the game they are wanting to play, and they're playing with people's lives. They're practicing. Frankly, practicing killing people is my opinion, but but maybe that's too offensive. I don't know. But yeah, my wife is now, just so everybody's aware, my wife is now clearly on board with where I'm at and what I'm doing and how I've done it. So we are, there's no doubt in her mind. And frankly, she said a couple times more recently, I think it's a little hard for her to work there and to see what's going on and to see, she sees people's charts and what they've gone through. They've done chemo, radiation, they've gone through surgeries, they've gone through this and that. Not everything is just those things, but, and to know now from firsthand knowledge, her husband, who's not dead, to see that there's a better way that's actually going to like keep you alive after it's all said and done. Like, crazy thought. And not cost $1 kajillion. Yeah. Crazy idea, but it's getting a little bit more difficult for her to like not say something. And I don't even, that's a whole other can of worms, but yeah. Do you think the dry fasting accelerated the tumor? Oh, 100%. 100%. Wow, that's wild. What they wanted to cut out is just shrinking. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So the dry fasting compared to water fasting stopped the growth it was pretty significant. And then it just stayed there, especially while I was refeeding and everything. The tumors stopped growing two-thirds of the way through the first fast, roughly in that time frame, and then it just stalled. And then the white outer layers began to like shrink off to where you would see normal, like fleshly, like this color skin. It still wasn't perfect, like regular skin, but like more fleshy, not white, like a white wart looking type of color. And it like receded back to where it was before, and then it just stopped there. And then since then, we've had multiple pieces, and I can see different like parts of the tumor like flaking off, or like there's like little flaps. It's kind of weird to describe, but like it's like somebody took like a little toothpick or something, and like was scraping little I don't know, like grout out of I don't even know what, a tile, like whatever the tile and mortar or whatever goes in between tile plates or something. It's like somebody was like chipping away at that with a little toothpick or something. And I can see those all over the body. There's a big one that I thought was like, dude, if this goes like this tumor is literally going to be busted in half. And like, frankly, I can move one side of the tumor and the other side doesn't shift with it. Like it's literally kind of in two pieces. Now, I'm not trying to irritate it and go crazy with it, but it's almost in two pieces, kind of a deal. So kind of crazy. That's wild. What they wanted to cut it out was just ring. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't need you. Didn't need you to destroy my body. My body's just going to cook it out. Thanks anyways. Love you long time. Bye-bye. Spaceman 24-hour drive fast completed. Healed some kind of tendon in my hand that gave me pain every day. It gives me an issue now. Wow, kind of crazy. I think it does work, repair, similar to what stem cells do. Yeah. So space. So dry fasting, it increases your HGH, your human growth hormone, which, if I'm saying the right thing right now, which it does produce, your body does switch and want to accelerate stem cells. The one thing that I've done to add to that party, I'm not trying to sell anybody, whatever down the river, but I'm just telling you what I've done. Okay. The X39 from LifeWave phototherapy, literally, it's a patch. It's literally a patch. That's how thin it is. Sticky stuff on the back. You put it on the back of your neck here or below your belly button. This triggers the that same hormone, or that what is it? It's a gene or something. I can't remember what it is. Some peptide or something or other that increases your stem cell production. So this encourages this. So long story short, I can't do this because of hydration issues. This requires you to be very hydrated, drinking a gallon of water a day. So I cannot have this while I am dry fasting due to hydration issues. But during a water fast, because I am getting the hydration and staying topped off, I can use this to accelerate the stem cell production to healing and just ripping everything to shreds, and doing the good stuff. So, yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Well, guys, I've been on here for an hour and a half, 5, 6 people. We've had, I think, up to like 8 people. Oh, solid, dude. Thanks. Yep. I might hop off here. This is a good time. I really expected to have like my wife in here, which she was at the very beginning, on the live stream for a second, but good conversation, good chatting here. Eventually I will have a consistent live stream on this channel every week. I don't know what day or time. It'll be later in the evening sometime. I'll still go live on TikTok randomly. Probably when I'm doing fruits and veggies, we're cutting stuff up on Saturdays, stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted to finally hop on and get on here and do a little live and a little less, I don't know, random people in the comments, people who are, I guess, more serious or whatever you want to say, who wanted to come over here and chat. And frankly, we can do a little bit more openly about stuff. But and I don't feel as much pressure to hold myself back from saying stuff. But yeah, tomorrow should be a big day. Thanks so much. Good luck tomorrow. Hey, appreciate it, man. Like I've said before, I would be shocked if I still have any cancer cells at all alive. I think they've been turned off or they've been killed off. They've been evacuated. One of the two. I just want to get these results back as soon as I possibly can, to shove it, not in the people who have supported me, but to shove it in everybody else's face. And maybe that's like the wrong heart and attitude to be like aggressive and angry about it. But like when they have done and suggested and try to fear monger me into a hole in the ground, and you've done that to me, I'm going to bring the same energy right back to you. And you're going to freaking eat these results. So with a smile on my face, yeah. So I'm excited about that because I truly think I'm already cancer-free. I've been cancer-free for probably a month or so since the blood lab results. But let's say if I'm not, cool, we'll just do another crazy water fast or maybe extended dry fast, whatever I got to do, and cook the rest of this out and be done with it and just cruise all the way. So should be a good time. But yeah, I'll be sharing tomorrow on TikTok before and after 11:15 Eastern time. I'll post a video right before that probably. And then whenever I get out of there, probably noontime or shortly after there, I'll post another video with here's what just happened. We went into it. Now we're coming out of it. And hopefully I can get the scan tomorrow and be rolling. So thank you guys for being here and hanging out on this channel over from TikTok. Thank you again. Seriously, thank you for interacting and commenting and blabbing with me a little bit tonight. So I'll catch you guys later. God bless. We'll see you.